Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your week ahead tarot with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, you know I love you for it. With that said, if you would like to book your personal reading with me, you can do so on the website address below. Please keep in mind that they are quite far out at the moment, and their spaces are quite limited for now, and the reason being is I'm currently working on two big projects for the channel that are pretty much taking up all of my time. So yeah, with that said, please bear with me. I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So with that said, for your key to the week, you have probably my favorite deck, my favorite card in this whole deck. It's the Tree of Life card. And for me, this card always says that there's going to be some divine assistance, divine intervention that comes into your life. So this could bring a very surprising moment this week. Something shocking could happen, but it tends to be like a hand of fate or the finger of God. You know, like this tends to be, whenever I see this card, it tends to be those moments where something comes along to either save you from something that could have happened to you, or to push you in a direction, and then you get there and you think, wow, I was actually really lucky that that happened. Or, you know, it's kind of like the Wheel of Fortune but on steroids. You know, like this is being in the right place at the right moment. It's hearing the right piece of information at the right time. It's being able to, you know, use the get out of jail free card, and then you get handed another one when you know when you've used it. It's kind of like that energy, and this week it's permeating your whole week. So this is really great news for you. Pay attention to the signs and symbols, because this week there are going to be lots of moments that are shaping up around you, or lots of little pushes or nudges from the universe. Your actions and options this week, you have the Six of Cups. So you could be hearing from an old friend, you know, somebody that you knew when you were younger, somebody that you were really good friends with, maybe an old work colleague. Very likely to be an old friend though, because it is the Six of Cups, which has a very childhood sort of energy. You could end up running into somebody this week that you've you know, maybe you never thought you'd see in a lifetime, or you end up kind of rubbing shoulders with somebody that you've always wanted to meet. Or do you know what I mean? Like it could be that real energy, like on your path this week you're going to cross paths with somebody that you have either missed or haven't seen for a really long time, or maybe somebody that you've wanted to meet for the longest time. This is just, it's going to be a really magical week for that. I really feel that. In your communications and conversations, you have the Six of Pentacles. So this week, whether this is a boss, whether it's a peer, whether it is a friend or a colleague, somebody is putting you on this week. Somebody is going to be suggesting something to you that could be a real money spinner. Now, we do have a Mercury retrograde, and especially if you are an ascendant Sagittarius, that Mercury retrograde is going to be happening in your 12th house, which tends to bring things and people back from the past. However, the 12th house is also a hidden house. It's also the house of self-undoing. You know, it's as Adam Ellenbus calls it, it was the house kind of in between worlds and known as the bad spirit. And what that actually means is there are things in the 12th house that aren't necessarily for our best or our highest. And I think it was called the Metacosmios, which is like, as he says, it's the in-between worlds. So if it's a get-rich-quick scheme, or it's like a pyramid scheme or anything like that, you probably want to avoid it. But your Six of Pentacles suggests that this week there could be a way for you to get ahead financially, as long as it checks out, as long as it's all above board and all the rest of it. You know, there could be a really great opportunity there for you. It could also be, I mean, you've got that Tree of Life card watching out for you this week, so I can't imagine it will be anything, you know, dodgy or weird, but obviously always keep your wits about you. It could be an old opportunity that comes back into the fold or onto the table. Now, what do we see here? You've got the Six of Pentacles and the Six of Cups. 2 sixes in the tarot represents irritability. So this could be a week where you are feeling this, or whether there's a lot of it happening around you. And it's funny because the image I've got in my mind is like, you're like, la la la, you know, walking happily, jovially, singing along, really, you know, cool and just enjoying life. And then like everything around, I can't remember what it was. There was like a short video that I saw of this guy, and he's like drinking his drink, and he's like on cloud 9, and like behind him there's like a whole war zone and stuff. That's going to be you this week. You're just going to be like sailing through, everything's good, and everything around you and everyone around you seems to be going crazy. For your money and materials, you have the Knight of Swords, especially with what I was saying about that Six of Pentacles. If it's a get rich quick scheme, pyramid scheme, if it's something that you need to pay into in order to get money out of, this is not the week for it. If you are paying money out for works that need to be completed, etc., if somebody is asking for an advance on that money, your Knight of Swords is definitely a no, I'm sorry to say. It means that you will hastily give that money, and you may very well never see what it is that you know. Let's say you know, it's like one of those ones you say to your kids, like, I'll give you, if you want, I'll give you 15 quid and you can clean the car. And they're like, oh, you know, but I'm going out now. Can you know, I'll clean it tomorrow. I'll clean it tomorrow. You give them, and then you spend like a week chasing them to clean the car. This is kind of that energy, only this time I'm not entirely sure you'll ever get it. So whatever it is that if you're putting money into something for a service that somebody's offering, the answer to can I have an advance this week is absolutely not. For those of you, for your home and environment, it looks like you could be traveling this week. Maybe not necessarily far, but it looks like you could be, I got that itchy nose thing happening now. Maybe not necessarily far, but you could be maybe like a local trip. If that is the case this week, just be cautious. I mean, you've got the Tree of Life there, so you should be fine. When it comes to your health and vitality this week, your Knight of Swords for me is Gemini ruled, and so for that reason this would be your arms and your hands. These are things that you want to be aware of and look after, especially because you've got sixes here as well, which tend to be six is the number of responsibility, but it's also a double-bodied energy, the number 6, because it has that balance, that dual, that harmony. So just be aware of that this week. For your love and relations, look at that. You got the 10 of Cups. This is beautiful. Home life looks good. There's going to be a lot of enjoyment, a lot of fun, a lot of laughter. It could be that either you or your partner are getting some sort of financial boost this week, maybe one that you didn't expect. The other thing is as well, because you got that Tree of Life card here, something that you or your partner are going in for could very well be like, if it's a get rich quick scheme, then it's probably not going to be great. But if it's something that is going to take time, something that will require, you know, a sustained or consistent effort, something that could be culminating around, what's 10 weeks from now? This would take us into around December. This could be absolutely brilliant. For those of you that are single, this could be great. You could be meeting somebody either through a friend, or you could be maybe not necessarily hooking up, but maybe you and a friend decide to cross that threshold this week, where it goes from being like yeah, you know, we've been friends for years, to, are we going to do this? Maybe we are. You know, it's going to be a really interesting week for you guys. I'm intrigued to see how it shapes up. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.